great Monday morning, you all. How are you all doing? Happy Monday. This is your girl, Shan. Now, I hope and pray that you all are getting up in an amazing mindset, positive mindset, amazing mood. I know some of you all having to go to work or roll over and clock in or whatever the case may be. But we are living. We are in the land of the living. And so I hope and pray that you all start off positive on this Monday morning. Start your week off positive. Now, you know I always do my good old church announcement before I get into the topic, right? So, church announcements. Tonight on Marriage Mondays with the Kings, we are doing a show for the singles. I know it's Marriage Mondays with the Kings. Good morning, Thesha. I know it's Marriage Mondays with the Kings, but those of you, some have not been with us for some time. So, we do speak to the singles, we speak to family, we speak to community. Good morning, Tasha. So, we'll be doing that show tonight. Singles, the title is Singles Marriage Material. So thank you and big shout out to all the singles. We put the question out there, like, what do you look for in marriage material when it comes to an individual? And boom, we got some stuff. You hear me? So that'll be tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on KRGN 98.5 FM The Rock. If you would like to listen in, go to our website at marriagemondayswiththekings.com. Click on the listen here tab, and then boom, you can be connected to the radio station, podcast, all these little formats that we got, all that kind of stuff, platforms or whatever y'all call it nowadays. But anywho, so look here, today's topic is entitled Grown Folks. Okay, let me go ahead and give this little warning and disclaimer right here. Now, some of you all may think, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm grown because I'm over the age of 18 or whatever the case may be. I'm grown. I'm grown enough to listen. No. I need mature grown folks. So if that's not you, that's okay. It's going to be all right. But I need somebody who can think beyond the surface. That's who I'm talking to on this morning. Because, see, what happens is when you have grown folks that are immature, they get mad at me for what is said when it's something that's having to do with them. Okay? Don't nobody want to talk about that. So anyway, let me go ahead and get into it. Now, one of the things that God really put on my heart, and I see it so often, is when it comes to marriage, one of the big things. Now, single folks, this be some golden nuggets for when you get married one day or whatever the case may be, or maybe, working on yourself until you say I do or whatever. But everybody want to talk about sex, but who's talking about the intimacy? Okay? Good morning, LaToya. Like I said, I'm going to bring it. Everybody want to talk about sex, but who's talking about the intimacy? Now, for my scholars out there, somebody just said, well, you got to understand that sex is a form of intimacy. I didn't say that it wasn't. But what we're going to do is focus more on intimacy, and then we're going to talk about sex, okay? So one of the biggest things that I see as issues in marriage, of course, is finances, is infidelity, having to do with, sex, sleeping with others, or whatever the case may be. But them are like the biggest things when it comes to marriage as to why a marriage does not last. Now, as I was sitting up here and I often ask, God, you really want me to talk about this? Because your girl is going to go in, but it's just to make us think, right? And I had to be thinking, over the past week myself. And so think about this. Every time, and you said, tell me, make sure I'm not lying now. Y'all help your girl out. But every time I look on social media, especially when you go to these marriage groups, couples groups, desire to be married groups, whatever groups, what people set up here and they talk about is I see a lot of husbands complaining, okay? A lot of husbands complaining because their biggest complaint in a marriage is my wife is not giving me enough sex. Every time I talk to her about it, she's tired, and she's always talking about she's tired, and I'm trying not to go step outside of the marriage or whatever the case may be. So, I see that. Now, y'all know I'm equal opportunity. Women, what I see and hear a lot of is, well, he got to understand this is all mine, and boom, 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 and I can control him with this thing. Y'all, come on. I'm keeping it real. I said grown folks on this morning, okay? Just listen to your girl. I can control him with this thing, and so you use sex as a tool for control, okay? And so, I understand our body, whatever the case may be, but when we get into the scriptures, because I'm going to drop that off a little bit, what I'm saying? Put some of that up in there too. When we get into the scriptures and it's talk about marriage, just say our body is not our own. So we're not supposed to be withholding sex and all this other kind of stuff. Now, the key point that is missing in there is the lack of communication. Because I'm going to talk about this and then we're going to really get into intimacy. One of the toughest things that I heard somebody say, let me holler at y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, and I was like, oh, that is powerful. It was a guy, good morning, Natasha, he said, fellas, he said, you can't just all the time be talking about sex, 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 sex. That's all you talking about. She can't even hit the bed, and here you are talking about sex, 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 sex. He said, have you ever tried making love to her mind? I said, what, sir? What you say? Let me go back and rewind that one more time. Have you ever tried to make love to her mind? That's what this man said. And I was like, man, that's deep. That's grown folk stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. Men are physical. If they see a PYT, a pretty young thing, some of y'all don't know what that means, so I'm going to break it down. They see a little pretty young thing, whatever. You know, not married men. I'm talking to the single ones. Or whatever. You know, they, oh, okay, I'm physically attracted to her, whatever. God made women to be emotional beings. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is the thing right here. When you are grown as a man, let me tell you some husbands, men, future husbands, whatever the case may be. When you about your grown, or whatever the case may be, then you would know that it's beyond sex when it comes to that. When you tap into her emotions, then that'll get you what you want. You see what I'm saying? But see, a lot of people don't do that. And so they go on social media, because I've seen it. They complain and everything like that. But see, this is the thing that burns me up. And let me go ahead and holler about it. You out here dogging your wife in these streets, talking about how she ain't giving you no 10 o'clock wonder, okay? I'm trying to keep it G-rated, you know, and everything like that. But how she not giving you no 10 o'clock wonder. You sitting up talking to other females about how your wife ain't doing what she need to be doing in the bedroom or whatever the case may be. But have you ever tried to tap into more of the intimacy, okay? Because most women, I've heard them say, man, can you hold me sometime? Does it always have to be about sex? Because think about this. Keep this in mind. So if you got you, especially a good woman who makes sure the house is clean, because let me run down. I ain't trying to just, because you know it's equal opportunity. I'm going to go both ways, right? But let me run it down. If you got you a good woman that you come home, you got a meal, the house is clean, the kids is taken care of, because women, we do give a lot. Let's just be honest. Can I get some of the women to say, man, we give a lot and we pour out a lot for our families and stuff like that. So you come your behind in. You can go, you can take a shower, you can come home, you can watch the news, catch up on some sports highlights, whatever the case may be, and whatever. So she may be working, you may be working, or may not, however y'all situation, good morning, Miss Delia, is lined up. But you come in, you got a meal on the table, you got your children that's greeting you, you got your drawers is clean, you see what I'm saying? You got you a real woman who lacks for nothing. Come on now, Sonya, what's up, Thisha? You know what I'm saying? You got you a real woman, because see, I'm not trying to knock any women out there, but guess what? Everybody ain't wife material. You see what I'm saying? I'm just going out, but that ain't what today is or whatever. So anywho, you come in, you can go and wash your crusty behind, come up, kick in the recliner, whatever the case may be, baby, because a real woman, I don't know about y'all. I don't like to go to bed with my kitchen nasty. I don't know. I just don't like nastiness. That's me. And whatever. So, I'm going to put up the food. You know, make sure that's put up. I'm going to clean the kitchen. I'm going to make sure my floor is swept. I'm going to make sure, you know, if it need to be spot mopped, I'm going to do all that, whatever the case may be. And, you know, sitting up here thinking, oh, Lord, I'm tired. I am tired. And so then as you get ready to wife, you get ready to go, you're to see the husband, you've been sitting there chilling the whole time. You've been watching ESPN sports and, well, whatever the case may be. You've been chilling for a whole 3 or 4 hours. But soon as she go in, she take a shower, get herself prepared for bed or whatever the case may be, baby, she can't even get her foot in the bed good enough. She can't even put a hand on the bed, and you on her, you just prowling on her, whatever. You don't even give her time to just lay in the bed. Women, you know how we lay in bed, we be like, whew, God, I thank you, because I'm tired today. Your feet hurting, your back hurting, and all this other kind of stuff like that. But then you got the audacity. Now, keep this in mind, it's equal opportunity. Sir, you got the audacity to get your crust behind on social media and complain about in some of these little secret groups how your wife ain't giving you none. That's what we doing? Or you got the audacity to sit up here and you texting some other female, telling her what's going on in your bedroom? I'm going to need you to get your whole life together, sir. And I ain't coming for the men, because you know how I am. But see, this is the thing that bothers me. This is what bothers me. When you got men that husbands, you sitting up here and you doing this. and you putting, you know, this out in the street and stuff, people may or may not know you that's in the same group, because, you know, we got trolls, people that don't talk and whatever the case may be. And then you set up here and you got somebody walking past her looking sideways, because let me tell you how good Jezebel will do it, honey. Oh, that old Jezebel spirit, she'll be like, okay, she ain't putting it down. Next thing you know, old Jezzy is pop locking and dropping it all up in front of you, okay? And then you giving attention to her instead of creating intimacy in your house, okay? But see, this is the thing. Don't be out here shaming your wife. And let me tell you why I say that. Because see, we have to understand a lot of things could be health related. Okay, it could be health related. I'm gonna talk about them because, come on, I've been in the medical field since I was 19 years old. So a lot of things can be health related. And so with that being said, you have a lot of women, as time go on, your bodies change. You talking about menopause, you done had these kids and everything like that. Then you got to keep in mind, you have some who are anemic, you have some who have low iron, low vitamin D, you know, all kind of stuff like that. So that means that require a physical to go, you know, see what's going on. Let me get some blood work and everything so I can make sure I'm all right. But all the while, the husband is sitting up here clowning her, talking about, every time I turn around, she always talking about she tired and she can't give me none. I'm tired of hearing that excuse. But let me tell you something, sir. Let me tell you something. Yeah, you may be in your prime, homie. You may be in your prime. But guess what? There will come a day, because we all get older, okay? Like I said, medical field now. We all get older, and there will come a day to, you know, her appetite might pick back up or whatever the case may be, but yours. So you relying, your body start changing, and you can't be ready when you need to be ready. And so you sitting up here relying on a little blue pill. And see, that's the thing. You can't take too many of them blue pills in a month's time frame, because you'll mess yourself up health-wise. A lot of y'all didn't know that. Y'all popping it like candy, okay? So what I'm saying is, when you start to get older, sir, you can't handle your business like you did when you was in your 20s. But see, you was out here clowning your wife, talking about what it is that she not doing in the bedroom, and you can't even perform. Come on, somebody. So you got to be careful of what you're speaking. But if you work on that intimacy, see, intimacy is a step beyond. You see what I'm saying? Intimacy is when you all, it's defined as closeness. You know, you can have sex with somebody and don't be close. Men do it all the time, no disrespect. And women have started learning to do it. Oh, that's how you want to do? Okay, let me turn my little emotions out so I don't get hooked, and boom, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, don't put your mouth on your wife and you down here putting her out down in these streets and on social media and all this kind of stuff. Because let me tell you what I've heard a lot of women do. When it comes to the point to where the man is getting older, her husband getting older, he can't perform. Hey, Sharita, and all this stuff. What's up, Jay Wig? Can't perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, he used to, or whatever the case may be. And then you sitting up here, you tapping her on her shoulder, and she just like, okay, let me get myself ready mentally. You ain't primed her up or nothing. Because see, that's what they say. You get your best experience when you prime your wife up. Start at least 24 hours in advance. Flirt with her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, girl, you sure looking good. And girl, you better watch out. You about to make me. You know what I'm saying? Baby, I love you. You so beautiful. See, them is the things that start that primal activity, right? But see, when you get older, sir, and the blue pills ain't working for you no more, and you tapped her on the shoulder and she really think it's about to go down in the PM or whatever the case may be, in between the sheets or whatever, and then you can't even perform. Now what does she do? Do she go off and say, oh, how you gonna set up her time about you and you can't even do what you need to do? Or do she say, it's okay, baby, it's okay, you know, just hold me, it's okay? Do she shame you? Do she go out in the streets and go on social media talking about how you can't do what you need to do as a man? So see, we really need to watch that when it comes to marriage. And that's what the main people say, oh, because, but see, I'm going to ask you, if that's an issue in marriage for you, where you say she always talking about this, that, and other, because guess what? One of the big issues that don't help a man perform, I'm trying to keep my hand, I'm trying not to be too graphic, but one of the big issues when a man get older, good morning, Kendra, keep him from performing or whatever, you start gaining a lot of weight, especially a lot of weight around that gut area. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get into a health class or whatever, but the more weight that you have in that gut area, the less you able to do on the other side. You see what I'm saying? So maybe you need to get out there. And so let me say this too. And that's what irritates me as well when it comes to husbands. Because, baby, if I'm having a general conversation, don't have no general conversation with Shan. Because, baby, y'all know I'm going to keep it all the way real.com. But this is something else that bothers me, too, that I hear in the marriage. When you have the husband who you set up here, you talk about your wife. When I first met you, when we was 19 years old or 20 years old, now this is before she didn't have kids. Oh, your body was like this and your body was like that. So you mean to tell me that you talking crazy to her. Y'all been married a whole 20, 24, 25 years. She done had your bubblehead kids, and you got the audacity to want her body to look like. See, let me tell you what Shan got issues with. I got issues with people that try to tell you what to do, and they not matching what they tell them. They trying to hold you to a standard, and they not matching it. I don't care if it's at church, work, or in your home. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't got that six-pack either, and if you do got that six-pack, you need to keep in mind that she done had your buckethead kids. You see what I'm saying? And so you sitting up here getting out mad at her, whatever the case may be. Are you serious? Our bodies go through changes as we get older and things like that. So quit always thinking about sex like you are, oh my God, I gotta watch my mouth. Like you a little teenager. Let me say that. Because that ain't what I was about to say. Like you a little teenager, and start introducing some intimacy. See, singles, as we was preparing for tonight's show, I was sitting up and I was thinking about this. This is a good question to ask too, but you got to make sure that you can answer it as well. But if you sit up here having the potential to date somebody, because see, I done talked about the changes. As we get older, it's going to be less sex and more holding. You see what I'm saying? In most cases, whatever. Most people tell me, shoot, you a lie. Now let us be real, and your girl, she ain't going to keep it real. But if you ask the person that you, hey, so how do you introduce intimacy into the relationship? You know, this before y'all get deep. This ain't on the first date. You know what I'm saying? You doing too much on the first date. Dang, they just met you. But I'm talking about y'all might have been talking about 5 or 6 months or whatever. How do you introduce intimacy into the relationship? You really need to know how the individual is. And this is a question you can have, because see, some people mess up, and this is what they say. Oh, well, one of my requirements for I gotta get married, they got to be able to get down in the bedroom, because if they can't get down in the bedroom, then I don't even want to marry them. Baby, one day that too shall pass. You see what I'm saying? One day they ain't gonna be putting it down like they used to be putting it down 20-something years ago. Let's keep it real though. Somebody, what's up, Janice? So these are the things that you need to think about up front. Because if a person is able to be intimate with you, they are able to make love to your mind. They are able to tap into your what's the dude named? Gary Chapman, 5 love languages. They are able to really tap into your love language, especially as women, because you got a jump started. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Then guess what? You grow closer and closer and closer, and no outside person can come in and destroy what you got. When you just sitting up here existing in marriage and you just having sex, anybody can have the opportunity, because guess what? Anybody can have sex. But not everybody will take the additional step to go beyond the sexual, physical, whatever the case may be, to tap into your mind, tap into your soul. You see what I'm saying? And be able to handle their business that way. Nobody will be able to tap into your marriage if you have the ability to do that. So I would encourage, man, we know y'all physical beings, whatever the case may be, but can you, if all you talking about is sex, you're going to start getting on your wife's nerve, okay? That's all you talking about. But soon as she tap that bed, you trying to jump in, good morning, cuss again, you're going to have some issues. There's going to be some sexual tension, let's just be honest, and things like that. But I want each individual, whether you be single or married, now singles, my questions for you is this. Are you able to be intimate with somebody? And what does that look like for you? For an individual to be intimate with you, this is a deeper level of thinking right here. What does that look like? What is it that the individual will potentially have to do or say or whatever? In order for you to be able to really answer that question as a single and married, actually, is you got to know who you are as an individual. You got to know what you like, which means you, in a sense, got to become one with yourself. You see what I'm saying? How can somebody tap into your most inner being and become really intimate with you on a whole different level? We ain't talking sex is surface. We're not talking about that. We're talking about going deep. And married individuals, husband or wife, because, you know, who you need to know even before you get married, you know, hey, if y'all get close or whatever, you sitting up here jumping into bed with each other, but you're not asking the questions that need to be asked. Bump that. Let me go ahead and put you on reserve for a minute. Let me put you on no, we're not going to do that. We're going to have some conversation, because that's really how you get to know each other. You can't get to know each other sexually. Because like I say, everybody can sleep together. So the question is, too, you need to know who got a high sex drive, who don't. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the case may be. But when it comes into the marriage, before you start complaining, do some observation, okay? Husbands, Set up and think, dang, you know, my wife is always, baby, are you okay? When is the last time that you had a physical? Or whatever the case may be. Start being concerned about her as an individual instead of that part that you can get. Do you see what I'm saying? Or maybe not be getting. And things like that. Because that's even intimate, because you're diving into, baby, what's going on with you physically. You know what I'm saying? Stop getting an attitude all the time. Stop yelling and cussing and fussing and all that. Or, this is the thing that I hear people say all the time. Well, who else is you giving it to then? If you ain't giving it to me, husband, let your sister Shan tell you, you sound straight ignorant. Okay? I'm going to take it back to the country. Not ignorant. You're sounding straight ignorant. So don't be attacking her because it could be something that's physical. And keep in mind, your physical might be now because you might be in your prime. But baby, when you get older, come on now, when you get older, she ain't gonna be sitting up here clowning you like you was clowning her and putting her down. Because in a sense, I see that women are more forgiving a lot of the times than men are. And so they're not gonna drag you in these streets. So start building an intimacy in your marriage. That's going below the surface. That's, you know what I'm saying? You know what makes your wife happy. You know what makes your husband a smile on his face. You know what makes him, the things that you do as a wife where the husband's like, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? This is something I posted on our social media page over the weekend. Actually, I think I put on the Marriage Mondays with the Kings page. To me, it is nothing more amazing than to see a husband bragging about his wife's accomplishments. Because I think this young man was bragging, hey, give it up for my wife, my beautiful wife. She completed nursing school. We got this many kids, whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? And I said, come on, sir, that is sexy. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. You always talking about the things that she not doing. But when a husband can brag about his wife and the accomplishments, I ain't just talking about that she pretty and oh, look at her shape and I done bought my wife some red bottoms. Not that stuff. But when she's achieving accomplishments, just like she will push you and brag about you. Because I see a lot of wives, we do that a lot. But men, that thing right there is some kind of sexy. See, that taps into that intimacy. You see what I'm saying? And she, oh, baby, you bragging about me. I was like, all right, boy, you better meet me in the bedroom. See, I'm telling you, stop thinking surface when it comes to sex. You have to go further and think intimacy. And so how can you tap into your spouse's intimacy that will bring you all closer and closer together? What do you need to do? What you need to study your spouse. My husband said that on one of our radio shows previously, like a year or so ago, and he was like, man, I encourage you to study your woman. Know what she like, your wife. Study your wife. Know what she like and different things like that. And he started saying some stuff about me. I was like, dang, I didn't even realize I liked that. But he was right. He was right because he studied me. And it doesn't take being married 20, 25, 30 years to figure that out. Start doing that in the beginning of the marriage. Y'all can skip over all this foolishness of arguing and discord in marriage early on when you start learning how to do that thing. You know what I'm saying? Sooner. So this right here, like I said, was for grown folks. So I'm going to say husband and wife, grow up. Husband, quit dragging your wife. Quit telling everybody what she not doing and how she not performing and swinging from the chandeliers in the bedroom. Singles, quit giving up the goodies because you think that's what's going to make this man or this woman marry you. Quit giving it up so quick. I'm just going to be real because, you know, people be having sex before marriage, even though, you know, they said the Bible say you ain't supposed to do that, whatever the case may be. But quit trying to snag somebody with sex. You see what I'm saying? Because guess what? The things that you do in the beginning, your spouse is going to expect you to continue to do throughout your marriage. And when you don't do it, you gonna hear about it. So don't set yourself up, singles, for failure. Don't set yourself up because